Welcome to Pondienztv. This one is exclusive. Remember, subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. People, question. How many people you know died from the COVID? At home. How many people you know died from COVID in the hospital? Question. You do the math. Remember, it's Pondienztv. Remember, like, share, leave a comment. Pondienztv people, know you watch this video. I listen key in the car. What? Nah, tell a lot people. You do the maths. You do the maths. Remember me say, how many people died from COVID in them own house, where most people died at. You do the maths. See?
No, that's what 26-1 was, a stroke.
And no COVID, and now he's got COVID, and he's on a vent.
Oh, because we gave it to him here.
I don't know how this ended up being COVID central.
So you don't have actual doctors. There's a dentist.
She began by telling us one of her most disturbing findings, that people who had repeatedly tested negative for COVID were being described as COVID confirmed.
So this person is Droplet, and COVID confirmed. Positive A, click, not detected. No resulting lab available. Oh, pretty good.
While Erin was using her hidden camera to document another chart showing a patient with negative test results who nonetheless was labeled COVID confirmed, another travel nurse entered the room. They began to discuss what Erin was seeing.
If it says bioreference,
That's
that means
here.
it's done here.
So not detected here, but
So
it's presumptive. Now, they are
detected if they're saying it's positive. Not detected.
but it's not
What does
detected.
that say? What does that mean?
So I
You
was
said that they were vented immediately upon being brought in. Is that?
Yeah, so the thing is they're coming in with difficulty breathing, and a lot of these patients are really coming in with anxiety because they're scared. And when I was back home, I was working in the ED out in the tents, and most people that were coming through with like symptoms of just, anxiety, or they're worried and they're breathing fast, and then they get all nervous. So this is how the people are like coming in. Now, I'm not saying that some of them, don't have COVID. Like there are people that come in and they really do need help, not to the extent of a vent, but they need help. But these other people, like this person who wasn't COVID multiple times, and a lot of them are on either Medicaid or Medicare. They're poor. They're from, a lower class. We're at a public hospital. They need the funding. So take them. They take them. And they tell them pretty much that if they don't get on a vent, then they're probably not going to survive. But the reality is, if they get on that vent, the likelihood of them walking out the hospital is slim to none. But the reality is, if they get on that vent, the likelihood of them walking out the hospital is slim to none.
And can I ask you, what PEEP are they on, and is that being mandated or specified what the pressure is on the vent?
Here's the thing with this. So you don't have actual doctors that know critical care, ICU doctors on these floors. There's a dentist, and there are residents with these. So residents are essentially students, and they have no idea what they're doing. Like today I had to police a resident because he wrote an order for me to run Versed, which is a medicine that you have to be very careful with because it can kill someone, at like quadruple the speed of what you should be running it at the dose. And had I not known that, then I would have easily killed the patient, and it would have been okay under their COVID standards. So everything is kind of a wash. Nobody's held accountable for anything, and these people that are in vents are essentially being like, these residents are like practicing their skills on them. So they're practicing central lines, they're practicing like invasive procedures that are really unnecessary.
What is the percentage of Black, Latino, white? What's the racial composition?
Hispanic and Black for the majority.
And what's the age
And
range?
Asian.
And Asian. And what's the age range?
20-year-olds all the way up to 70, 80-year-olds. Very few, I should say very few 80-year-olds, but the majority of people, I would say, are in their 40s or 50s.
Wow. And what percentage of the people that are in there would you say actually have tested positive for COVID?
Half. Probably half.
But everyone is being treated as though.
The entire hospital is COVID. So half the hospital is not COVID, but they're on COVID floors.
So let me just ask you about nosocomial infection. So you're saying they're putting non-COVID or COVID rule out with definite COVID patients?
Yes.
So I was only wondering, because like I was looking at like all the patient rooms, and like this patient is in with like a non-COVID. I don't understand why they're doing that.
I know. There's 4 patients in a row here
Yeah.
on COVID. And this is supposed to be the COVID.
Yeah.
Because 7th floor, they've shut it down.
That's
and
right.
they've cleaned it.
I'm
And then
confused.
they're going to have non-COVID there.
Yeah.
This is going to be the only COVID. So they shouldn't put any non-COVIDs here.
Well, that's what they've been doing.
They're banking on the fact that they'll get it. Because they're already immunocompromised. So and they'll put them in the same room. So there's double rooms. So you have a COVID with a non-COVID. They don't even care. We have enough rooms where they can be separated now because it's not as busy as it was, 4 weeks ago. But they don't care. They're just putting them together. I have that right now happening.
And like the guy over in,
I had 226
Yeah.
that were 2 negatives.
and they end up positive. Like the guy over in 29, I had him upstairs because I was on CCU before it,
Yeah.
and he came in with a stroke
I know. That's what 26-1 was, a stroke.
and
Nothing
no
to do with
COVID,
Nothing to
and
do
now he's got COVID and he's on a vent.
Well, because we gave it to him here.
I don't know how this ended up being COVID central.
I know, but she
I don't know, I like teeth in a bun, take your mouth, you know, for watch a TV, a Pondienztv, a the baddest TV.